Hi everyone. I just want to say thank you for having me here. Thank you, Nia, for having me here talk to you about self-care and how it's not selfish to engage in self-care. I just want to get started by saying that self-care is something that's so important to our well-being. It's an issue that a lot of my clients have and have been having, and they're always asking me about, Carla, I always feel bad every time I try to take time for myself, or I feel bad for buying myself something. Buyer's remorse, that's something that I sometimes deal with whenever I buy something that I actually need. And so I want to talk to you about how you can let go of all those negative beliefs about self-care and how important it is to engage in it and to have it be a practice in your everyday life. And so this is a topic that I love to talk about because a long time ago, and even I still struggle with it sometimes, I would feel guilty whenever I would take a day to myself or to spend by buying something for myself. And it really hit me when this one instance when I was getting a mall massage, and it's just a $30 mall massage at a mall right by my apartment building. $30 for 30 minutes. You go in, you lay down, and they do it, and it's amazing, and it feels so good. So I would try to do that once a month, and I would feel guilty every time I would go because sometimes my sister would ask me, oh, do you want to go to dinner? Or my boyfriend would ask me, oh, do you want to do this? And I'm like, oh, I don't want to spend that money. I'd rather spend it on something else. And that something else was that massage for myself. It was just time that I wanted to spend on myself, and I would feel guilty about it because I would go by myself. I would spend this money that sometimes I thought I didn't have when I actually did have it. And I thought people were judging me for using the money that I earned on something for myself instead of spending it on someone else or with someone else. And it took me some time to get rid of those negative blocks on understanding that self-care is so important and that I really deserved it. I deserved that massage, So I want to tell you that to get rid of your limiting beliefs that you have about yourself on how if you think that you don't deserve it or you think it's taking time away from someone else or for something else. And I want you to know that it's really important to take care of yourself, because when we engage in self-care, when we take the time to find something that we love to do and to engage in it, it connects us to our body, mind, and spirit, our soul. It brings us to our authentic purpose and our authentic self, our true self. And when we're connected in these three amazing ways, we feel happier. We feel connected to our entire self. So if we have a gut feeling about something, we're more able to have the confidence to go with it. We are more aware of our surroundings and ourselves, where if something feels off, that we'll go and have the confidence to respond in a way that feels authentic to ourselves. And I feel like when we're not connected with our mind, body, and spirit, that just goes out the window. We don't feel like that we have the confidence to make the decisions that we need to. And that's why I think self-care is just so important, because we just have that connection to ourselves. And I love doing meditation and yoga. Even though I'm a yoga teacher and I love teaching, sometimes I really enjoy just doing a yoga session for myself, because afterwards I feel so invigorated, I feel inspired, and I feel rejuvenated. It's kind of like a reset button where it's just like, wow, I really needed that time away from everything else, from all the noise, from all the stress of daily life, to just focus on myself, even if it's for 30 minutes, and I feel so much better afterwards. I feel more inspired. I feel more motivated. I feel more creative. And that's another reason why I think self-care is so important, because it opens up your creativity. So even if you love to do a craft or an activity that's very creative, you can do it, and then it'll activate more creativity just in day-to-day life. Even when you're walking down the street, you'll see things a lot differently. And it opens you up to new opportunities on projects you might want to do, or things that you might want to try out. I know for me, on the side, I like to do stained glass pieces. And that's not really that common around the area that I live in. And so every time I work on a stained glass piece, I just find this zen moment of just being in the creative process that just makes me so relaxed and so happy. And even when I'm not doing stained glass, I'm walking down the street, I'm going to work, I'm doing all these different activities, I see everything with a creative eye. And so that's why I love to take some time to just work on some stained glass pieces or work on a craft, because it makes me more inspired and more motivated to do other things that I thought weren't even possible or that I would even want to do. And so that's why I think it's really important to listen to that motivation, that inspiration, especially when you take time for yourself, because then you're able to take some time to help others. And a lot of my clients tell me that they get burnt out really quickly, or that their 9-to-5 job is just very toxic and just sucking the life out of them. And then I notice, are you engaging in some self-care activities? Are you taking the time to heal yourself instead of trying to heal others or help others? And that's why I think it's just so important to engage in self-care, because you can't help other people if you're not helping yourself. Have you heard of the saying, you can't pour from an empty cup? I've mentioned that in another one of my talks, because I think it's just brilliant. You can't give your all, you can't give your beautiful power to other people if you're not protecting yourself, if you're not healing yourself. You need some of that power too, So that's why I think it's really important to just take some time for yourself. And I forgot where I read it, or I heard it in a talk somewhere. Someone said this beautifully, where it's when you're on an airplane and they're showing you the safety video, and when the masks come down, the oxygen masks, you're supposed to put it on your face first before helping someone else. And I think that's brilliant. That's kind of like how life is. You have to help yourself first. Give yourself that oxygen. Give yourself that life before you try to help other people, because it's just so important that you don't get burnt out, that you don't feel negative all the time, that you don't feel like you're in a toxic place. Just take some time out of your life to focus on yourself. And it's horrible that we feel guilty for wanting to do that. And it's so important to do that, to take that time for yourself. I've had clients tell me, a lot of clients tell me that they don't have enough time or money in the day to focus on themselves. And I'm just like, wow, I understand if you're a mother, if you're a caretaker, if you're a human being, an empath who loves to help other people, but you need to take some priority in yourself. So we have all this time in our life, which isn't a lot. And if you think about all the things that you're doing with your day, is it going to work? Is it waiting in line for food? Is it going on the metro? Is it exercising? Is it hanging out with friends? Is it all these things when you can just take 5 minutes to just focus on yourself? Even if it's just like a meditation, or read a book that you've always wanted to read before going to bed, or taking a bath, or buying that chocolate bar that you've been wanting for a long time, and don't feel guilty about spending the money to do it. Because you can prioritize your life. You can prioritize how much time you're going to spend on yourself. And I think you need to spend more time on yourself. And what I suggest is that you start off slow. You can say, all right, once a month, I'm going to do something really special for myself. And then when you feel more comfortable with doing that, then you can just move it up to once a week. I'm going to start doing something special for myself. And then bring it up towards once a day, doing something important and special for yourself, where it can just help you just reset your whole life, you know? So I really like how taking small steps, you can really achieve so much. Because if we're not taking this time to focus on ourselves, then we feel drained, we feel tired. Maybe our diet and our exercise are out the window. We're not taking care of ourselves in that respect. Maybe we're just always complaining or always negative. If you have all this time for all this negativity and this hurt and this pain, you do have time to focus on the good and the positive in your life, or even if it's just taking a shower for 5 minutes, you know? And I know there's a lot of busy people out there, and I know that moms do this a lot, where they're always giving their everything to their families, but you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of your family and your friends and just the people around you. It's just really, really crucial, because no one wants to feel burnt out in their life. This is your life. We only get one of them in this moment. So focus on giving yourself some love and some self-care activities that I love to do. I love to do, like I mentioned earlier, yoga, meditation, reading a book that I've always wanted to read. I like to do that like before going to bed, because it really helps me like get in a quiet mindset, so I'm not like on my phone on social media before going to bed. And I'll admit I do that sometimes, but it's just really great to just silence yourself, silence your mind, your ears, everything while you're reading. That's something I love to do. I also love going on hikes, buying myself a treat, like if it's like a chocolate bar or like something that I'm really craving, just something like that where you've been wanting it, you've been craving it, just go for it, you know? Like, it's really important to just go for it. And don't have that buyer's remorse. Don't feel bad about it, because life is so short. You don't want to feel bad about buying the chocolate bar and eating it, you know? And I want you to be mindful of the things that you want and that you're getting for yourself. You know, if you're really in debt, or if you're struggling financially, I'm not saying to go splurge on a shopping spree, you know, or if you have a family and you have all these duties, to not just leave everyone hanging, but I'm also telling you to just take some time, be mindful of it, of how you can help yourself in what you're craving and what you need, because there are so many different ways that you can be good to yourself. And it can be even watching a movie, or buying something that you've always wanted, or even if it's just walking outside and just taking a few minutes just to yourself. And I don't want you to feel guilty for doing this, because no one should ever be judging you. You shouldn't be judging yourself. And if people are judging you, then they're obviously not engaging in a lot of self-care, or else they wouldn't have all this negative energy to put on you. So don't listen to what other people are saying. Listen to yourself. Listen to your needs, and really just go for it, because in the end, you are a beautiful person full of awesome energy, and you want to keep your vibrations high, you know? You don't want to be dragging everyone down because you're tired. You should just take care of yourself so you can keep on doing what you love to do. And so I hope this was really helpful for you, and I hope you enjoyed listening to this video. If you're interested in what I do, you can reach out to me directly. Thank you, Nia, again for giving me this beautiful platform in your amazing group, which is so inspirational. And I hope to hear some comments from you guys. So thank you, and have a good night. Thank you.